Welcome to the Library of M. We will continue reading Girl Interrupted by Susanna Kaysen. My suicide. Suicide is a form of murder, premeditated murder. It isn't something you do the first time you think of doing it. It takes getting used to. And you need the means, the opportunity, the motive. A successful suicide demands good organization and a cool head, both of which are usually incompatible with the suicidal state of mind. It is important to cultivate detachment. One way to do this is to practice imagining yourself death, or in the process of dying. If there's a window, you must imagine your body falling out the window. If there's a knife, you must imagine the knife piercing your skin. If there's a train coming, you must imagine your torso flattened under its wheels. These exercises are necessary to achieving the proper distance. The motive is paramount. Without a strong motive, you're sunk. My motives were weak. An American history paper I didn't want to write, and the questions I'd asked months earlier. Why not kill myself? Death, I wouldn't have to write the paper. Nor would I have to keep debating the question. The debate was wearing me out. Once you have posed that question, it won't go away. I think many people kill themselves simply to stop the debate about whether they will or they won't. Anything I thought or did was immediately drawn into the debate. Made a stupid remark, why not kill myself? Missed the bus, better put an end to it all. Even the good got in there. I like that movie. Maybe I shouldn't kill myself. Actually, it was only part of myself I wanted to kill. A part that wanted to kill herself. That dragged me into the suicide debate and make every window, kitchen implement, and subway station a rehearsal of a tragedy. I didn't figure this out though, until after I'd swallowed the 50 aspirin. I had a boyfriend named Johnny who wrote me love poems, good ones. I called him up, said I was going to kill myself, left the phone off the hook, took my 50 aspirin, and realized it was a mistake. Then I went out to get some milk, which my mother had asked me to do before I took the aspirin. Johnny called the police. They went to my house and told my mother what I had done. She tuned up in the A&P on Mass Avenue just as I was about to pass out over the meat counter. As I walked the 5 blocks to the A&P, I was gripped by humiliation and regret. I'd made a mistake and I was going to die because of it. Perhaps I even deserved to die because of it. I began to cry about my death. For a moment, I felt compassion for myself and all the unhappiness I contained. Things started to blur and whiz. By the time I reached the store, the world had been reduced to a narrow, throbbing tunnel. I'd lost my peripheral vision. My ears were ringing, my pulse was pounding. The bloody chops and steaks strewn against the plastic wrappings were the least things I saw clearly. Having my stomach pumped brought me around. They took a long tube and put it slowly up my nose and down the back of my throat. I was like being choked to death. Then they began to pump. It was like having blood drown on a massive scale. The suction, the sense of tissue collapsing and touching itself in a way it shouldn't, the nausea, as all that was inside was pulled out. It was a good deterrent. Next time I decided I certainly wouldn't take aspirin. But when they were done, I wondered if there would be a next time. It felt good. I wasn't dead. Yet something was dead. Perhaps I'd managed my peculiar objective of partial suicide. I was lighter, airier than I'd been in years. My airiness lasted for months. I did some of my homework. I stopped seeing Johnny and took up with my English teacher, who wrote even better poems, though not for me. I went to New York with him. He took me to the Freak to see the Burmese. The only odd thing was that suddenly I was a vegetarian. I associated meat with suicide because of passing out at the meat counter. But I knew there was more to it. The meat was bruised, bleeding, and imprisoned in a tight wrapping. And, though I had a 6 months respite from thinking about it, so I was.
Thank you so much for listening to the Library of M. Please, if you like the content, subscribe and leave a comment and share. See you next time.